That's what you think. The Duke is set to appear at his first public event in the UK in almost 5 months. Harry's attending an awards ceremony in London for the Well Child charity, which he's been patron of for 17 years now. His last major UK visit was for the 10th anniversary celebrations of the Invictus Games in May. He also briefly returned for the funeral of his uncle last month, where he reportedly did not speak to his estranged brother, Prince William. Oh, Tessa, would you want him back?
Of course we want Harry back. I'm really sorry. Breaking news is I don't think we're going to get him back. But I believe the whole gigantic furore around Harry, the kind of incessant clickety-click, the headlines, the negativity, is because we were hurt. Because he left us.
Yes, he left us.
We love him.
Yeah.
We actually know that he has bundles of charisma. He tracks us back to his darling mother. Yeah, he's made a few mistakes. Who doesn't? He's been trying life outside a couple of institutions called the Army and the Royal Family. And it ain't always easy, life of hard knocks. We love him and we want him back.
Would you want him back, Russ?
He's made a couple of mistakes.
Yeah.
Sitting down with Oprah Winfrey, implying racism in the royal family. That's a little small misdemeanor. If you do a Netflix documentary, if you write a book called Spare, the very title tells you that he's not very happy with his lot. You cannot remotely expect not to be within the ire of the British press and maybe a large amount of the population of this country. He will never come back in the short to medium term because, you know, take the stick in the sunshine in Montecito rather than try and come back to the UK in the rain and the wind. I mean, it's pretty awful today, isn't it?
I don't know. I realise I'm very British. I love this country. I know it's wind.
So
I cycled in the rain today. It was horrible. But I'd rather be cycling in the rain in Britain than in the sun in California.
I would too.
Sorry.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? You would rather be in California?
No. But if he wants to come back, I have no problem with it at all. He's a member of the royal family, the son of the king. But, you know, the world has changed and it's difficult.
How would he manage the relationship with William? Because I just called him estranged and I thought it's almost official now.
Yeah, it is possible to live in this country and not talk to your brother. Thousands of people do it. We make it difficult. I think we made so many presumptions about their sibling relationship because it suited us. It assuaged our guilt around our obsession with Diana and the horrible end that we all felt we had a tiny element of culpability because we'd all been consuming non-stop her story in this very unhealthy way. And then there we were so publicly crying, inappropriately really, in front of these two grief-struck boys. I have a huge amount of compassion for Harry. It's not easy. He's born into privilege, but he's born into a sticky wicket behind his big brother, always an invidious place to be. And actually, why shouldn't he talk a bit of truth to power? We're never allowed to really criticise the royal
family. He's kept you employed for a couple of years.
He has. Thanks for noticing. Thanks, Haz.
Yeah, I mean, I see you on all sorts of things talking about history and the royal family and what have you. For me, if you're a second sibling, who really cares? You know, William is going to be the king of this country, barring a disaster. We know the way accession works, so does he. You can't start moaning about it. But I think overall he's, you know, quite an inoffensive sort of bloke. And I'm sure if you sat down in a pub and had a drink with him, he would regale to you stories in a lovely way. He'd tell you about his time in the army. He's a war hero, by the way. Respect. But you can't chip away and moan and groan from afar and expect to be welcomed back into the bosom of the nation.
Let's just go to Gertrude in London. Gertrude, do you want to see him back?
When does people learn that Harry does not want to come back?
Well, we think he might be lured by football or, I don't know, confectionery or, I don't know.
Rain.
Russ Williams should do his homework, because I have lost count as to how many times former head of counter-terrorist Neil Basu had come out and said that while Harry and Meghan was living in this country, they have had so many death threats. And they have investigated them all, and there's been many prosecutions. Yeah. What have other countries done? They have gone in and checked the court record. They have published some of the mugshots, and the royal family never came out and said anything. And also what Harry said while they were living here, that constantly the press are putting Meghan and Kate up against each other and completely bypass the issue. Okay. It's all about what was they wearing, what was that wearing.
Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you. Sarah in Surrey, hi.
Good morning.
Do you want to see him come back?
Overall, I
You
would
sounded
say...
like a dog. You sound like a dog then.
Apologies, yeah.
When I asked the
Overall,
question-
I would say he is part of the royal family. He was born into that role, a role his late mother staunchly supported. But you can't have it both ways. You are either in or you're out.
Ooh.
He has benefited from all the trappings of monarchy in terms of education, etc. But also there has to be some contrition for what appears to be a sense of entitlement. For example, my family cut me off without a penny, so I had to feed my family somehow. Well, that's ridiculous. His mother left him God knows how many millions when he was 10.
Yeah.
So there has to be some sort of contrition.
Okay. All right, Sarah, thank you. Ian in North Ayrshire, should he come back?
Actually, I've been asked it. Why should he come back? You've got to look at it this way, Jeremy. He's an adult. He's got a family. He's living in the country of his own choice. He's getting, a real nice living with one way or another. He's only the heir. He's only the spare. He's not the heir. And you've got to remember, he's a human being with a family. He's not a puppy.
Okay, Ian, thank you. Elizabeth in London, should he come back?
No. As the last caller has just said, he is an adult. He made his decisions. He has enjoyed a very good lifestyle. He is financially well able. If he is not earning enough now because various contracts are finished, then frankly he'll have to pull in his belt or find something legitimate to do. He's practically committed treason in what he said about the royal family.
Russ, maybe you think he's gone over the line?
I think he certainly hasn't committed treason.
Crossed the line?
Sorry, Elizabeth, he hasn't. Yeah, I think some of the behaviour, some of the inferences in the books and the documentary were not helpful. That's all. And clearly, and Tess, you'd be able to back this up, have upset other members of his family.
Yeah, there is a lot of upset.
If you're the spare, right, we're looking at the Queen's children. So Charles was going to be king, and then you've got Andrew, Anne, Edward. Anne's made a good fist of it. She's been out and about every single day in the rain. Edward, yeah, he tried a career.
Well, he came back
Andrew,
though, didn't he?
we
He's bounced
can't-
back nicely, Edward.
Yes, I mean, a lot of respect for him. They've shown, I mean, Andrew obviously just playboy, really, but there is a model there for living a useful life as the person who's not the eldest child, right?
There is. I think it was quite clear from the get-go that Meghan didn't really fancy what was on offer. And I think that Harry not only saw through his marriage a way out, but also felt bold enough to air his grievances against an institution that often we don't really get much access to, let's be honest. And I don't think it was so bad for one of our major institutions of state to be given a bit of a drubbing. A bit of a chance to, shake it up and let's see if we can reform going forward.
After the break.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Royal Chronicles. Today we're discussing Prince Harry's upcoming trip back to the UK and the media circus that can't resist spinning a dramatic tale around it. You've probably heard the buzz. He'll be attending the Well Child Awards, a cause he's supported for nearly 2 decades. But as always, certain tabloids love twisting the story, so let's straighten out the facts and add some positivity along the way. First off, Prince Harry's dedication to Well Child has been steadfast. Year after year he's used his influence to uplift children facing severe illnesses and shine a light on their families' resilience. That's what his visit is really about. But if you listen to the tabloids, you'd think it's all about supposed feuds, whether he'll see his brother, Prince William, or his father, King Charles. Let's be honest, the same royal institution that left Harry and Meghan hanging under the weight of relentless media scrutiny suddenly expects him to drop everything and come running? The double standards are enough to make your head spin. It doesn't help that royal commentators keep pushing the same old tired lines, that Harry somehow messed up by leaving, that he owes everyone an apology, and that he needs to earn his place back. But this is a man who served in the military, founded the Invictus Games, and continues to back countless meaningful causes. Meanwhile, many critics sit in their comfy chairs and talk, without contributing anything as impactful themselves. And let's not forget how these people say he's irrelevant, yet can't go a day without mentioning him. If he truly were irrelevant, they wouldn't be so fixated on him or Meghan, right? Then there's the issue of security. High-ranking counter-terrorism officials have confirmed that real threats existed when Harry and Meghan were in the UK, yet the royal establishment mostly stayed silent. Now, these same critics act like he stormed off in a fit of personal grievances. They conveniently ignore that he was looking out for his family's safety. And about him being the spare, what century is that even from? Expecting someone to keep quiet and just be thankful for a few symbolic pats on the head is outdated. He's a husband, a father, and a man who stands on his own 2 feet. Why should he be bound by traditions that don't serve his well-being? In the end, this visit to the UK revolves around celebrating incredible kids and families who've shown tremendous courage, and Prince Harry has been behind them for years. The rest is just noise from people who profit off drama. Let's keep our focus on what matters, uplifting those who truly need support and calling out nonsense when it surfaces. If you enjoy honest takes like this, support the Royal Chronicles by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. It helps us bring you more conversations that stand apart from the media frenzy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember to keep spreading kindness. Let's continue championing people and stories that truly make a difference.